Hello, everybody. This is Dave Cruzen coming to you from Gallatin County High School, Gallatin County Gymnasium for a pre-schedule of a ball game that was supposed to be tomorrow night, but because of the impending snow, hopefully we won't get it, but sounds like we will. Gallatin County and Hardin County are going to hook it up tonight, and we're going to get some information together. We got about 3.5 minutes to go before the start of the JV game. And we're going to get some information for you, get you some lineups and that sort of thing. Also going to be trying to keep track, and I've got my good buddy Bryce Brazier, the assistant coach for the high school girls team, supposed to be sending me some information on the high school girls tonight as they are playing in the regional tournament at Goreville in the semifinals. The girls were the number 1 seed there. They are playing Century tonight at Goreville. So wishing them good luck, and hopefully I'll have good news to pass along as the game goes on here in that one. So about 3 minutes away from the start of the JV contest, Gallatin County and Hardin County, so it should be a good one. Hopefully you're in good and warm, got you a nice cheer, and we'll see you here in about 2.5 minutes or so. So about a minute and a half away from the start of the JV game here tonight, Hardin County and Gallatin County. Should be a good ball game. 2 evenly matched teams, both on the varsity and the JV level. JV game is a battle of 2 of my favorite people. One of my former players, Zach McGuire, and a guy that I grew up with. Many of you know I am from Hardin County, so I grew up with both their head coach Rod Lane and assistant coach Jason Vaughn. So 2 of my favorite guys here getting ready to hook it up in this JV game, Jason and Zach. Should be a good one. For Hardin County, we have a lineup in place. For Hardin County, the starters are going to be number 14, Belford, number 0, Whooper, number 3, Fulkerson, number 23, Leroy, and number 15, Gibbons. And we'll get the Hawks lineup for you in just a moment as they come out. We just heard the buzzer summoning them to center court as 2 of the best officials in the business, Jim and Jerry Suits, on the call for this one tonight. For the Hawks, it looks like it's going to be number 1, Talon Smith, number 34, Brendan Brown, number 40, Max Brockett, number 24, Jordan Montgomery, and number 3, Caston Wood, rounding out the starting lineup for the Hawks. So the clock has been reset, and we are ready to tip it off. It's going to be Whooper jumping against Brendan Brown. Ball tipped, controlled by the Hawks. Montgomery gives it off to Talon Smith, who drives, lays one up, misses it. Rebound, number 23, way ahead to number 14, Belford. His shot up and in for Hardin County, and quickly the Cougars jump on the board. Caston Wood with the ball, brings it up into the front court for the Hawks. Working to the left side of the floor, bounce pass over to Talon Smith. Looking down low, hits Jordan Montgomery, who's cutting the basket. His shot is no good, but he is fouled by number 0, Whooper, and he will go to the line to shoot 2. First foul on Hardin, first foul on Whooper. Jordan at the line. First shot on its way, no good off the back iron. Just getting started, 6:32 to go on the clock, JV game. Montgomery with his second shot on its way. Off the back iron his way, rebounded by Belford. Belford gives it off to Whipper, and the Cougars move it up into the front court. Cougar over to number 23, Leroy. He fires a long three, no good. Rebound, Talon Smith. Smith has the ball for the Hawks, brings it across the timeline. Hawks trailing 2-0, gives it off to Caston Wood, and the Hawks will reset their offense. Wood drives to the left side, bounce pass underneath to Montgomery, goes to the goal, is fouled. This time he connects on the bucket. And a foul on number 15, Gibbons. That'll be his first, and the Cougars' second team foul. Jordan Montgomery at the line shooting one. Jordan's shot no good, off the front iron yet again. Belford with the rebound for Hardin, and the Cougars push it up into the front court. He looks to drive, kicks it in the corner to Fulkerson, fakes a shot, then pulls up at about a 12-footer, no good. Rebound, Brendan Brown. Brown gives it off to Wood. He flings it ahead to Smith, and the Hawks are on their half of the floor. Pass over to Brown. Brown loses the handle, picks it back up, has it knocked away, picks it up again. Bounce pass out, Caston Wood, and the Hawks reset the offense. 5:38 on the clock, first quarter. Wood working against Fulkerson. Right side, Knight's given to with Max Brockett, but it's knocked loose. Belford gets it on a run, drives middle of the lane. He is going to be whistled for a travel as he got tied up on the way in there. And it's going to be a turnover on the Cougars, and the Hawks will take over. Caston Wood brings the ball up for the Hawks. He's into the front court over to Talon Smith. Tries to flip it down to Brown. Good defense down there by Gibbons. Knocks it loose, and here comes the Cougars. Our 23, Leroy with the ball. Gives it off to Whipper, top of the key. Whipper looks to make a move. Nothing there. Over to Fulkerson. Down in the corner to Belford. Belford looks to drive. Pulls up. 12-footer. His shot off the board. No good. Rebound tipped around. Picked up by Leroy. He goes back up with the shot. No good. Rebound, Brendan Brown. Gives it off to Montgomery, and the Hawks will take over. Off to Talon Smith on the right side. Talon looks to drive baseline, pulls up with the jumper, no good. Max Brockett with the rebound. He sticks it back in, and the Hawks take their first lead of the night at 4-2. 4:44 on the clock, first quarter. Off to Whipper on the left side. Whipper cuts the middle, spins down to the baseline, has his shot blocked by Smith. Wood comes out with it. He's on the move. Wood moving along the line, goes up, scores, but they're going to whistle a charge on Caston Wood, and no bucket. First team foul on the Hawks, first on Caston. And we've got a timeout on the floor. Hardin County. Oh, we got a player down on the far end, Hardin County as well. Whipper is down. So not a productive trip down the floor for either team there. So we're going to step away for a moment while they take care of this young man. Hopefully he's okay. And young man apparently hurt a leg or a hip or a knee. Hopefully nothing too bad. He's a exciting young player. The coaching staff helping him over to the bench. So it will be Hardin County basketball on the far end of the floor, bringing it the length of the court. Checking in for the Cougars was number 25, McDowell, checking in for Whipper. And Hardin County brings it up into the front court. Fulkerson handles the ball for the Cougars. Over on the left side, into the corner to Belford. Belford through some traffic, back to Fulkerson. He flings it in the middle to Gibbons, who gets it over to number 23, Leroy. He drives over to Fulkerson, 15-footer. His shot, no good. Rebound, fought for, knocked out of bounds. We're going to have a foul on the backside on Jordan Montgomery. Second team foul on the Hawks, first on Jordan. And Hardin County will inbound under their own goal. Triggering the ball in is Leroy. Gets it into Fulkerson at the three-point line. He dribbles to the middle of the lane. Out to Belford. Belford up top to Leroy. Leroy over to McDowell on the right side. Back to Leroy. Over to Fulkerson. He's going to drive the lane. Kicks it down low to McDowell, but it is knocked away and stolen by Jordan Montgomery. Flips it ahead to Brown. Brown gets a head of steam, loses a handle on the ball, comes up with it, and they're going to call him for a carry and a turnover. And it'll be Hardin County basketball. 3:48 on the clock, first quarter. Hawks lead at 4-2. Hardin County bringing the ball up court. It is Fulkerson. Over to Leroy. Leroy across to Gibbons. Gibbons looks to move into the corner to McDowell, up to Fulkerson. Fulkerson resets the offense. Little 5-out offense. Fulkerson drives the lane, running one-hander off the board. And Hardin County pulls it back to even with 3:20 on the clock. Caston Wood into the front court. Over a screen, looks to drive, puts up the shot. No good. Rebound, Belford. Belford will push it up court for the Cougars. Out to Fulkerson. Fulkerson spins in the lane, kicks it down to McDowell. 8-footer. Up, no good. Rebound, Talon Smith. And the Hawks back on the attack to their end. Smith out near the Hawk beak at center court. Almost steps on the line at the half-court line. Moves on the right side, over a screen, bounce pass, no one cut. Turns it over, Cougars up with it. Leroy way ahead to Belford. Belford shot up and in. And Coach McGuire says, we got to talk about this, fellas. Cougars take advantage of a turnover from the Hawks. 2:41 on the clock. And Hardin County leads it 6-4. Gallatin County inbound, going to go the length of the floor. Dawson Stacy and Kaysen Steele have checked in, as has Jackson Carney. Leaving Montgomery and Max Brockett on the floor for the Hawks as players that were starting the game. Stacy with the ball on the right side. Gives it off to Montgomery. Montgomery pulls it back out to reset, down to Max Brockett. Max over to Jackson Carney. Carney spins, 12-footer, up and good. Jackson Carney. And the Hawks tie it up at 6 with 2:18 on the clock. Leroy into the front court for Hardin County. Over to Belford. Belford looks to drive, kicks it in the corner to Gibbons. Gibbons goes baseline around Max Brockett, tries to throw a pass. It's stolen away by Jordan Montgomery. He flings it ahead to Max Brockett. Max looking for some help. Gives it off to Jordan Montgomery and the Hawks. 1:50 on the clock. Jordan Montgomery drives the right side, puts up the shot, no good. Rebound fought for. Jordan Montgomery comes up with it and puts it back in. And the Hawks back up by 2. Leroy with the ball. Gives it off to Belford. Belford over to Gibbons. Gibbons, top of the key, over to McDowell. McDowell fakes a pass underneath. Gets it out to Fulkerson. Fulkerson's going to drive the lane. Now to the block. Lays it up. No good. Rebound, Kaysen Steele. He gets it off to Carney, and the Hawks, with 1:17 on the clock, have possession. Jackson Carney makes a move to the middle of the lane, drives through traffic, draws a foul. Looks like number 15 is going to be our offending player. If so, that is Gibbons, and that'll be his second. Nothing marked on the board yet. Carney at the line to shoot 2. Carney's first shot rims in. And the foul was indeed whistled on Gibbons. That'll be his second. For the Hawks, Elliott Glover, Aiden Combs check in. Max Brockett and Jordan Montgomery have a seat. Carney's second shot is up and good. 1:08 on the clock. Belford has the ball for Hardin. Brings it into the front. Drives the lane. No one stops him. He's going to have a foul called against number 35, Kaysen Steele. That'll be his first, team third. And Belford will go to the line to shoot a pair. Belford's first shot off the mark. Checking in for Hardin County, number 34, Davis. Second shot from Belford, up and good. And the Hawks lead it by 3 with a minute on the clock. Carney across the line. Met there by Fulkerson. Off to Elliott Page over on the right side. Elliott makes a move to the center. Kicks it out to Stacy. Stacy in the corner to Carney. Carney drives. Shoots one off the board. No good. Rebound fought for. We're going to have a foul whistle against Gallatin number 2. That's Dawson Stacy. That'll be his first and the team fourth. For the Hawks, Brendan Brown checks in. Aiden Combs checks out. And for Hardin County, number 23, Leroy checks back in. And number 15, Gibbons will sit down. Ball inbounded to Fulkerson with 40 seconds. He busts through the Hawk defense. Nice pass underneath to McDowell, and he scores. He just ran right through the pressure defense all the way to the lane and gave it up once he drew the defense. Nicely done. Elliott Page into the front court. For the Hawks, he's working on the right side. Gives it off to Carney. Carney drives, shoots. We're going to have a foul whistled against looks like number 14 for Hardin County. That's Belford. That will be his first, and it'll be the team fourth. Carney at the line shooting 2. Jackson rolls one in for the Hawks. Talon Smith checking in. Dawson Stacy checking out. 15 seconds on the clock. Carney's second shot is up and good. And the Hawks back up by 3. 14 seconds on the clock. Leroy with the ball for Hardin County into the front court. 9 seconds on the clock. Into the corner to Davis. Loses the handle. Steele up with it. 4 seconds. 3. He loses the handle, but we're going to have a foul whistled against Hardin County. Steele will go to the line to shoot 2. As number 23, Leroy, will be whistled for the foul. And that will be his first and the team 5th. So that puts the Hawks in the bonus. And Steele will go to the line to shoot a pair with 2.2 seconds to go in the first quarter. Hawks with a chance to extend the lead here. Cayson's first shot is no good. Check again for the Cougars. Number 32, Headlam. And going out is number 34, Davis. Cayson with one more shot here. Second shot is on the way. It's good, and the Hawks lead it by 4. Belford slings it in. It's knocked by Carney. He starts to fire up the last shot, doesn't get it off in time, but what he did do was disrupt the Cougars from being able to get a shot. So at the end of one, Gallatin County leads at 13-9, and we will be back in just a moment. So as we get ready to start the second quarter, it's going to be Hardin County basketball there at center court. Gallatin leading it 13-9. Like I said, 2 evenly matched teams, both varsity and JV in this one. Hardin County back out on the floor for the Hawks. Number 1, Talon Smith. Number 34, Brendan Brown. Number 24, Jordan Montgomery. Number 20, Jackson Carney. And number 35, Cayson Steele will check in for the Hawks to start the second quarter. Over along the way, Leroy with the ball, gets it inbound to Fulkerson, back to Leroy. And we are underway in the second quarter. He gets trapped up top and gets tangled up, takes an extra step, and it's a turnover. Be Hawk basketball. Jackson Carney inbounds to Montgomery, back to Carney, and we are on our way. 6:50 to go in the half. Carney across the line over to Talon Smith, nearly stolen away by Leroy. but they say last touch by Hardin County. And the Hawks will inbound at half court. Bounce pass into Montgomery. Montgomery gives it off to Smith, top of the key. Smith back to Carney near the center circle. 6:30 on the clock, over to Talon Smith. And we got a traveling violation whistled against Talon Smith. He must have shuffled his feet over there while he was looking for someone to move. And it's a turnover on the Hawks, unforced. Leroy with the ball for Hardin County, brings it across the line. Nearly has it stolen away. Now we're going to have a foul whistle on number 24, Jordan Montgomery. That'll be Jordan's second foul. First team on the Hawks in the second quarter. Max Brockett checking in as Jordan will go to the bench. And Hardin County will inbound the ball near the end of the Hawk bench. Fulkerson to inbound. He gets it into Belford. Belford looks to move, pulls it back out, gets it over to Leroy. Leroy, top of the key. Moves to the left side. Gets in traffic. Going to be whistled for a travel as he got his feet tangled up with Talon Smith. And a turnover on the Cougars. Jackson Carney will bring it up court for the Hawks. He's across the timeline. Six minutes to go in the first half. Down to Kaysen Steele. Bounce pass to Carney on the baseline. Nice job on the back door by Jackson Carney. Good look by Kaysen Steele. And the Hawks go up by 6. Leroy with the ball. Over in the corner to Fulkerson. He fakes, drives the baseline. 8-footer, no good. Rebound, number 32. Lost my sheet here. He gives it off to McDowell, who takes a walk with it, and the Cougars turn it over again. We got a 30-second timeout whistled by Gallatin County. So the Gallatin County basketball going to go to the length of the floor here. Hawks lead it 15-9. Jackson Carney to trigger the ball in for the Hawks to Talon Smith. Also on the floor for the Hawks are Max Brockett, Brendan Brown, and Kaysen Steele. Smith across the timeline over to Carney. Carney with the ball over the screen by Steele. Flips it down on a give and go. Steele, nice job, misses the shot. Rebound knocked out. Max Brockett runs it down out to Talon Smith. Talon over a screen. Talon a three. Corner three, and it's good. Fulkerson with the ball for Hardin County into the front court. He flips it to McDowell in the give and go. Tries to hit Leroy on the back door, but it goes off his hands out of bounds. And checking in for the Hawks, Caston Wood, and checking in for Hardin County, number 32, Headlam. Davis goes to the bench for Hardin. Hawks lead it, 5 minutes on the clock in the first half. Caston Wood with the ball. Over a screen, flips it to Steele through his hands, loses the ball. And a quick foul whistled against Max Brockett trying to get a steal. For Max, that will be his first foul, and it will be the second team foul on the Hawks. Checking in for the Hawks, Elliott Page and Brendan Brown going to the bench. 18-9, Hawks on top. Fulkerson brings it across the line for the Cougars. Loses a handle on the dribble, now he picks it up, drives to the left side. 8-foot jumper, in and out, rebound. Steele had it, lost it. Max Brockett comes up with it. Gives it off to Page. And he will bring it up court for the Hawks. Page to Smith. Smith works back to the middle over to Caston Wood. Wood handles the ball up top, directs some traffic here. Off to Page on the right side. Page moves to the baseline, got that quick first step. His shot's up and good. Elliott Page, he found a seam and went to the hole. Leroy brings the ball into the front court for the Cougars. On the left side, he moves down to the baseline, puts up the shot. It's up and good. 3:50 to go in the first half. Caston Wood over to Elliott Page. Page with the ball. He's going to go middle of the floor. Throws it down to Wood on the baseline. He misses the shot. Went up for a rebound. We're going to have a foul whistled against number 25 of Hardin. That's McDowell. And that will be his first and the first team foul on Hardin. Number 23, Aiden Combs checking in for the Hawks. And Max Brockett going to have a seat. And for the Cougars, number 15, Gibbons in. And 32, Headlam out. Ball inbounded to Wood, up to Page. Page to Talon Smith in the corner. His shot, no good. Rebound tipped out. It's going to be the last touch. They're going to say last touch by Hardin. So it will be Gallatin County basketball right in front of the Cougar bench. Page inbounds to Smith. Smith drives through traffic, back out. He's going to be whistled for the walk as he got himself in some traffic. And a turnover on the Hawks. 3:26 to go, first half JV contest. Hardin with the ball, Fulkerson across the timeline. He gets it off to Gibbons. Gibbons powers his way to the goal, and they're going to call him for a walk. No, we got a foul whistled. We got a foul whistled against number 35, Cason Steele. That will be his second, and it will be the team third, as Gibbons will go to the line to shoot a pair. Gibbons' first shot is up and good. Max Brockett checking in. Cason Steele going to the bench with 2 fouls. Gibbons' second shot on the way, up and good. And with 3:15 on the clock, the Hawks lead it by 7. Elliott Page into the front court for the Hawks. Elliott looking for a screen, goes over the screen by Brockett. Tries to get it into Combs, it's knocked away. Combs comes up with it, gets it off to Page. Page makes a nice little move to the baseline, one-hander, no good. Rebound, Combs. He goes up, his shot won't fall, and Hardin McDowell comes down with the rebound. Out to Gibbons, who flips it back to Fulkerson. And with 2:40 on the clock, the Cougars got a chance to cut the lead down. And we got a foul whistled against number 3, Caston Wood. That'll be his second. It'll be the team fourth for Gallatin. Hardin County to inbound right in front of the scorer's table. Ball into Fulkerson. He comes across the line. To Gibbons. Gibbons tries to throw it down low. It is batted out of bounds by Combs. And checking in for the Hawks, number 34, Brendan Brown. Number 3, Caston Wood, checking out with the 2 fouls. Cougars inbound to Belford. He goes into the lane, out to Gibbons. Gibbons tries to drive on the right side, but runs into Combs. Up to Fulkerson. Fulkerson going to try to make a move toward the lane. Now he throws it down to Belford. Ball off his hands. He picks it back up. Now he goes middle of the lane, puts up the shot, draws the foul, and scores. And we got a foul whistle against number 1, Talon Smith. That will be his first, team 5th. So the Cougars are now in the bonus for the rest of the half. Belford's his 1 free throw is off the mark, no good. And number 15, Gibbons, is going to be whistled for his 3rd personal foul, going over the back of Brendan Brown. And for the Cougars, number 32, Headlam, will check in for Gibbons. And the Hawks take over with 1:55 to go in the first half. Leading by 5. Page with the ball, top of the key. Over to Max Brockett. Max up top to Aiden Combs. Combs over to Smith, who flings it across the Page. Over back, who goes back to Smith. Now out to Combs. Combs looks to power his way in, but nothing there. Up the Page, top of the key. Page out to Combs. He's going to go baseline and score. Got the freight train rolling on the baseline. He got the layup. Cougars bring it up into the front court. Number 23, Leroy with the ball. 1:14 on the clock. Off to Fulkerson. Over to Headlam. Headlam with the ball, gives it off to Belford. Belford in the middle, back out to Headlam, over to McDowell. Way across court to Fulkerson. Fulkerson makes a move to the baseline, slips, falls, is going to be whistled for the travel. And the Cougars will turn it over with 53 seconds to go in the first half. Talon Smith to inbound the ball for the Hawks to Page. Gallatin leading it by 7. Scoreboard in the gym is incorrect at the moment. Talon Smith with the ball up top, over to Elliott Page. Hawks playing for one shot, 30 seconds on the clock. Smith gonna drive, gives it off to Page at the center circle. 23 seconds on the clock. Page makes a move, now he's gonna drive, loses a handle. Loose, it is knocked around, ball slapped out of bounds. Last touch gonna be Aiden Combs from Gallatin. And the Hawks turn it over with 14 seconds to go in the first half. Hardin going the length of the floor. Ball inbounded to Fulkerson, now back to Leroy. 10 seconds on the clock. 8, 7, Page with a steal. He flips on the Jets, goes down and scores. And that'll do it for the half. And the Hawks lead it by 9 at the half, 24-15. And we're going to step away. And we will be back in a little bit. Enjoy the Hawk band for just a moment. Going to talk over the band here while they're going just real quick. We got about 2.5 minutes before the start. Scoring at the half for the Hawks, led in scoring by Jackson Carney with 8. Jordan Montgomery and Elliott Page both with 4. 3 points for Talon Smith, 2 for Max Brockett, 2 for Aiden Combs, and Kaysen Steele with 1. On the Hardin County side, they are led in scoring by number 14, Belford, has 7 points. 2 points apiece for the rest of the roster. Fulkerson, McDowell, Leroy, and Gibbons all with 2. And early in that first half, great job by the band. We're going to flip around here to the floor. Early on in that first half for Hardin County, one of their better players, Whooper, went down with an injury. And I see he is walking gingerly, so I don't know if he's going to try to give it a go here in this second half or if he is, they're going to hold him out. I know he's one of the one of the crucial players on this team, both for the JV and for the varsity. It looks like he is going back out on the floor to give it a try, so glad to see that young man's not hurt. Lady Hawks playing at Goreville tonight in the semifinals of the regional tournament against Century. That game, I believe, was to start at 6 o'clock, so I don't have any updates on that. They should have been just tipping off about now. So hopefully we will wish the Lady Hawks good luck and hope they advance on to the championship game Thursday night. And a great job by the Hawk band. Gallatin County will have the ball to start the second half. Jordan Montgomery, Caston Wood, Max Brockett, Brendan Brown, and Talon Smith on the floor for the Hawks to start the half. Caston with the ball. Over on the left-hand side to Talon Smith. Smith pulls it back out. Hawks reset. Back up to Wood, top of the key. Extended out near the half-court line. Over to Talon Smith. Smith in the corner to Jordan Montgomery. Back out to Smith. Over to Wood on the right side. Wood back in the corner to Brendan Brown. Brown up top to Caston Wood. Wood over to Smith. Now down in the corner to Montgomery. Back to Smith. Now to Wood. Into Brown. Out to Smith for 3. His shot in and out, rebound, Brendan Brown, but he is fouled on his putback attempt. And Brendan's going to go to the line and shoot 2. First foul on Hardin County of the third quarter. And it is whistled against number 25, McDowell. That'll be his second. Brown's first free throw is in and out. Brown's second free throw is also in and out. Ball slapped loose out of the hands of Montgomery, but he comes back up with it. Gets it out to Wood, now to Smith. Back over to Wood on the left side. Down to Montgomery in the corner. Back up top to Wood. Over to Smith. Smith in the corner to Max Brockett. Max out to Smith, over to Wood, left side. In the corner to Montgomery. He looks to drive, back up top to Wood. Over to Smith. And the Hawks will reset. Up top to Wood. Wood will trigger the offense from the center circle. Over to Brockett, down to Smith. Underneath to Brown on the baseline. His pass stolen away by Hardin County. And the Hawks don't get any points, but they do knock a minute and a half off the clock to start this half. Fulkerson over to McDowell. McDowell to Belford at the free throw line. Now out to Leroy. He makes a move in the corner to McDowell. Pass underneath to Belford. He turns, spins, shoots, misses, and Max Brockett had a rebound, but it got knocked loose. They're going to say last touch, Jordan Montgomery. And Whooper is checking back in for the Cougars as McDowell sits down. He is running a little gingerly on that foot, so we'll see how that goes. Pass inbounded, middle of the lane to Fulkerson. His shot no good, but he is fouled. Number 3, Caston Wood. That will be Caston's 3rd personal foul. And the first on the Hawks for the quarter. Elliott Page checking in for the Hawks. First free throw from Fulkerson is off the mark. And Page does indeed check in for Caston Wood. On the floor for the Hawks, Page, Smith, Montgomery, Brockett, and Brown. Second shot from Fulkerson is good. And the Cougars are back within 8 with 5 minutes to go, third quarter. Elliott Page up into the Hawk half of the court, into Brockett. He flips it down to Montgomery on the baseline, and they are going to whistle Jordan for a charge. Number 15, Gibbons, apparently got set down there, and for Jordan, that will be his 3rd personal. So Case and Steele will check in for him, and Jordan will go to the bench. And the Cougars take over. Fulkerson with the ball. Into the front court, Fulkerson. Off to Belford on the right side. To Whooper, top of the key. Guarded by Page. 2 close friends out there. Whooper over to Belford. Belford out to Fulkerson. Fulkerson drives, loses a handle. We're going to have a foul whistled on Page as he came in and had a steal, but they're going to whistle him for the foul. For Page, that will be his 1st personal, 2nd personal, 3rd personal on the Hawks. Team foul. Ball inbounded to Whooper. Whooper carries the ball, gets away. Makes some moves, bumps into Page, gets it out to Fulkerson. Fulkerson, top of the key, over in the corner to Gibbons. Gibbons almost walks. Hits Fulkerson, cutting the lane. He spins back out, gives it to Whooper in the corner. Whooper flings it across to number 14. That's Belford. Belford is going to give it off to Leroy for 3. His shot no good. Rebound. We're going to have a foul whistled against Hardin County. Number 15, Gibbons. That will be his, I believe that's his 4th. And the 2nd team foul on the Cougars. Nothing up on the board yet, but I'm assured that's his 4th. Talon Smith brings the ball up for the Hawks into the front court. 3:50 to go, third quarter. Page in the corner. To Talon Smith. Passes a little higher. Talon had a move. Talon, top of the key. Over to Brown. Brown to Page in the corner. Underneath the steal, it's knocked away out of bounds by Gibbons. And checking in for the Cougars is number 25. That's McDowell. And Gibbons will go out with his 4th foul. Elliott Page to inbound the ball for the Hawks under their own goal. Into Brown underneath the goal. His shot is no good, but we're going to have a foul. Looks like number 25 possibly whistled for the foul. If so, that'll be his 3rd. Nope, number 0, Whooper, that will be his 2nd. And Brown will go to the line to shoot 2. Brendan hits the first. 3:33 to go, third quarter. Brendan's 2nd shot is on its way, and it is good. And the Hawks into the front court. Leroy over to Whooper for 3. No good. Rebound. Max Brockett gives it off to Smith. And the Hawks bring it back to their half of the floor. Smith with the ball. He's directing traffic. Over to Brown. Brown tries to get it into Steele, but nothing there. Nice job, Max Brockett coming up with a loose ball, feeding Smith, cutting the baseline. Good look. Way to look opposite and hit his cutter. Nice job, Talon Smith, and the Hawks go up by 12. Leroy with the ball over to McDowell. McDowell out to Whooper, top of the key. Whooper to Belford. Belford looks to drive, now gets it in the corner to McDowell. He throws it up top to Fulkerson. Thought about a three again, didn't take it, gets it off to McDowell on the right side. McDowell, 2:35 on the clock in the third, is going to have a whistle and a timeout. Hardin County. Coach Vaughn wants a timeout to talk about it. And a full timeout for Hardin County. So we're going to step away and be back in just a moment. Hardin County will inbound the ball underneath their own goal. Trailing by 12. For the Hawks, coming out on the floor, Elliott Page, Aiden Combs, Talon Smith, Cason Steele, and Jackson Carney. So the Hawks with more guards in the lineup. Ball inbounded to Whooper out in the corner. Whooper looks to make a move, he's going to go middle. Gives it off to Belford. Belford gives off to Fulkerson. Ball loose. Picked up by Steele. He gives it off to Page, and the Hawks will take over on turnover. Carney in the front court. 2:10 on the clock, third quarter. Over to Elliott Page. Page into Combs. Combs looking for somebody cutting. Now he's going to drive. Gets it off to Smith out on the three-point line. Back up top to Carney, and the Hawks reset. Carney over to Page. Page, top of the key, gonna drive. Bounce pass underneath the Smith, knocked away. Last touch Hardin County. And the Hawks will inbound under their own goal. 1:50 to go, third quarter. Carney into Steele, cutting the lane. He's gonna be whistled for a walk, though. Took an extra step. Everything worked except for the extra step, and the Hawks turn it over. Hardin County brings it up into the front court. Leroy with the ball. Over to Fulkerson. Fulkerson hits McDowell, cutting the lane. His shot off the board, no good. Rebound, Cason Steele. He gives it off to Page, and Page brings it up into the front court. Elliott Page over to Talon Smith. Talon works the right side. Now back to the middle of the lane. Pulls up. Jumper in the lane, off the board. Good. And here comes Hardin. Leroy quickly up court for the Cougars. Over to Fulkerson. Fulkerson going to try to drive the middle. Nothing there. Gets underneath to Belford. He loses handle out of bounds. Hawk basketball. And for the Cougars checking in, number 15, Gibbons. Out goes McDowell. Gibbons with 4 fouls. So Hardin County rolling the dice just a little bit with Gibbons back out there, one of their starters. Carney with the ball in the front court. Just under a minute to go, third quarter. He looks to drive baseline, loses a handle, gets knocked loose. He tries to pick it back up, loses the handle again, and it is Hardin County basketball. Leroy brings the ball up across half court. Jackson Carney defending him up near the top. Over to Fulkerson. Fulkerson out to Whooper. Whooper guarded by Page. Over to Leroy, who drives the middle, goes through some traffic, has his shot blocked by Steele. Jackson Carney comes up with it in traffic to Talon Smith. Nice spin move. Talon Smith lays it in. Good job, Talon Smith. 20 seconds on the clock. Leroy gets to the Whooper. He drives the lane. No one stops him underneath the Belford. Good pass. Belford gets his own rebound. His shot is blocked by Steele, but they're going to whistle Steele for a foul, and that will be his third, team fourth. And Belford will go to the line to shoot a pair. First shot from Belford is good. Max Brockett checking in as Steele will go to the bench with 3 fouls. Belford's second shot on the way, and it is also good. 14 seconds on the clock. Page over to Kearney. Cougars with a little half-court full. Well, they were going 3/4 court pressure. They pull back. Kearney, 5 seconds on the clock, dips it to Brockett. His shot is blocked out of bounds. 1.8 on the clock. Hawks to inbound under their own goal. Talon Smith to inbound the ball. His ball, a little far. Leroy from 3/4 court, in and out. And at the end of 3, the Hawks lead it 32-18. We'll be back for the 4th in just a moment. So it'll be Hardin County basketball to start the 4th quarter across the way at the center court line. Hawks leading it by 14. On the floor for the Hawks to start the 4th, Max Brockett, Jackson Kearney, Aiden Combs, Elliott Page, and Talon Smith. And the Cougars will inbound it up to Fulkerson. He fires a 3. His shot no good. Rebound, Aiden Combs gives it off to Smith. And the Hawks will bring it to their half of the court. Smith looking to drive, gives it off to Kearney in the corner. Kearney up top gives it to Brockett. Brockett on the baseline, puts up the one-handed shot. It is good. Nice little baby hook type shot by Max Brockett there. And the Hawks are up by 16. Over to Belford. Belford going to drive middle of the lane. Bounces off a defender. His shot no good. Foul coming up against Max Brockett. That'll be his second. And the first team foul whistled against Gallatin here in the 4th. Belford's first free throw. Rims off. Checking in for the Hawks. Number 24, Jordan Montgomery. Jackson Kearney goes to the bench. Second shot from Belford is in. It rims in. And the Hawks quickly up court. Talon Smith attacks through the defense, loses the handle, but Jordan Montgomery comes up with it. He lays it in. Not sure if that was a pass or if he just lost the handle. Either way, worked out good for the Hawks. Hardin County down. Leroy underneath to Gibbons. Gibbons is fouled underneath. And a foul on Max Brockett, and that will be Max's. Oh, I misread up there, I guess. That is Max's second foul. We have him for 3. They have him for 2 on the board, so we're going to hope it's 2. First free throw from Gibbons is up and good. Brendan Brown checks in. Aiden Combs goes to the bench, and for Hardin County, Whooper goes to the bench, and McDowell will check in for him. 6:08 on the clock. Gibbons' second free throw coming. And it is short. Rebound tapped out to Fulkerson. He drives baseline, lays it up off the side of the backboard. Rebound, Max Brockett just yanks it away from about 5 people. And the Hawks will bring it up to their end, up to Talon Smith. Talon always looking to attack. He pulls back up near the center line. 5:50 on the clock. Over the screen by Max. Talon drives baseline, bounces off a defender. His shot no good. Rebound, Jordan Montgomery. He goes back up, and Jordan scores. Good work on the board there by Jordan. And the Hawks up by 18. Hardin County quickly to their half of the floor. Leroy over to Gibbons. Gibbons is going to be whistled for a walk as he was making a move to the center line. That's good. He had a step on his defender, so we'll take the turnover. Checking in for the Hawks, number 3, Caston Wood. Number 13, Elliott Page, goes to the bench. And Smith into the front court. Almost walks, gets it out to Max Brockett. Almost drug that back foot to Talon. Now Caston Wood out near the center circle. Caston. Over to Jordan Montgomery. Jordan. Bounce pass to Brown on the cut. Nice job. Rebound. Hardin County. Ball just rimmed out on him. They flip it out to Fulkerson. Fulkerson up front to Leroy. He loses a handle, but we're going to have a foul on a loose ball whistled against Jordan Montgomery. And for Jordan, that is foul number 4. And quickly, Elliott Page bounces off the bench and checks in for him. 3rd team foul on the Hawks. Whooper has checked back in for Hardin County. Into Gibbons. Gibbons, little 8-footer, no good. Rebound, Talon Smith, no foul whistle. Talon working against the defender behind him, but he did a good job of hanging onto the ball. Off to Caston Wood, up to Elliott Page. 4:40 on the clock. Page working against Whooper. Off to Caston Wood. Wood out to Max Brockett, top of the key. Max out to Talon Smith. Talon going to drive, bounces, shoots, no good. Rebound, Whooper from Hardin County. He comes jetting out of the pack. He is quick, loses some footing, but we're going to have a foul whistled against number 3, Caston Wood. For Caston, that will be his 4th, and it'll be the 4th team foul whistled against the Hawks. And Whooper will go to the line to shoot a pair. First shot is up and good. Checking in for Hardin County, a new player, number 21. That is Mayfield that is checked in. And Fulkerson goes out. Whooper's second shot up and good. And the Cougars with a little full court pressure, man to man. Talon Smith brings the ball up across the timeline. Into the front court. His pass knocked around, but he gets it right back. And we got a timeout whistle by Coach McGuire from Gallatin. 4:07 on the clock. And we got a full timeout on the floor. Hawks lead it 38-22. So the Hawks to inbound the ball at the end of their bench here. 4:07 to go in the ball game for the JV contest. Page gets it in to Steele, who's checked into the game. On the floor for the Hawks, Smith, Wood, Steele, Page, and Brockett. Caston Wood out near the timeline with the ball. Gives it off to Steele. Steele looking for a little help. Gets it over to Max Brockett. Both the post guys out playing the perimeter. Over to Smith. Smith underneath the Wood. Wood powers his way to the goal. His shot, no good. Rebound, Hardin County. Belford comes out with it. And with 3:39 to go, they bring it up court. Whooper with the ball. He bounces off Page. His shot up and good. And Hardin County on a little run right here. Down 14 with 3.5 minutes to go. Page into the front court. He's going to drive. He tries to dump it down to Max Brockett, but Max didn't cut on that one. Belford comes up with it. He streaks to the Hardin County end of the floor. Out to Whooper for 3, and it's good. And all of a sudden, it's back to an 11-point ball game. And Hardin right there. Page across the line. Down to Steele. Smith. Smith went over a screen by Steele. He pulls it back out. 2:50 on the clock. Looking for a screen. He gets the screen. On the give and go, it is stolen away by Leroy. Underneath the Belford. He loses it, picks it up, shoots, and scores. And timeout Gallatin County, as Hardin County has now cut it back to an 8-point game. 30-second timeout. We're going to step away for just a second. Gallatin inbounds the ball into Jackson Carney. Carney brings it up court for the Hawks. He looks to drive, dumps it down. Max Brockett comes up with a loose ball. Gallatin has turned it over the last couple of times on the give and go underneath there. Out to Talon Smith. Talon looks to move, nothing happening. He'll pull it back out. Out near the center circle. Over to Wood. Wood on the left side. Over the screen by Brockett. He tries to spin back. Caston loses the handle on the ball, and right now the Hawks are playing sloppy basketball. Jordan Montgomery checks in. Talon Smith goes to the bench. 2:08 on the clock. And Hardin with a chance to cut it down to 6 or more. Whooper with the ball, brings it into the front court. He drives, he pulls up, he shoots off the mark. Max Brockett with a rebound, gives it off to Montgomery. And the Hawks bring it back up into the front court to Carney. He loses the handle, picked up by Leroy, bounce pass, stolen away by Montgomery. And Montgomery is fouled this time as he tries to take off. Number 23, Leroy, picking up his second foul, first team foul on Hardin of the quarter with 1:49 to go. Montgomery to inbound, off to Carney. Carney with the ball. Over to Wood. Wood out to Steele in the corner. Steele looks to move over to Max Brockett at the free throw at the 3-point line. Now over to Carney. Carney going up near the center circle. 1:23 on the clock. Over to Steele. Hawks killing a little time. Out to Max Brockett. Over to Carney. Carney's going to drive baseline. Puts up the shot. Scores. We'll see if they count the bucket or if it was on the ground. And they are going to count the basket. Jackson Carney scores. Foul whistled against, not sure who they whistled that foul on. Number 14, Belford. That's his second. Carney at the line shooting one. McDowell checks in for the Cougars. And Carney's free throw is good. 1:13 on the clock. Whipper with the ball, brings it in the front court. He moves on the right side, now pulls it back top of the key over to Belford for 3. His shot no good. Rebound. Jackson Carney has it tipped away. Gibbons has it. Gives it off to Leroy. Leroy drives the center line, and we're going to have a foul whistled against Gallatin before the shot, but it's going to be the 5th team foul. So the Hawks will send the Cougars to the line. Foul whistled against number 3, Caston Wood, and that will be his 5th as he is fouled out. And another player runs off the court for the Hawks. And Elliott Page now checks in. First shot was no good. Missed. Second shot is up and good by Leroy. 57 seconds on the clock. Gallatin with the ball. Carney works against the pressure. We got a foul up top. 3rd team foul against Hardin. And it's going to be whistled against number 23, Leroy. That's his 3rd personal. Gallatin inbound in front of their own bench. Brockett to trigger it in for the Hawks. He goes back court to Carney, who immediately is fouled. Terrible camera work by me. Number 23, Leroy, picks up his 4th. And the Hawks will inbound the ball across the way at the center circle. 52 seconds on the clock. Hardin trying to get the bonus in place into Carney. Carney in the backcourt brings it all the way up. Gives it off to Page. Page, 45 seconds, gives it off to Carney. Carney looks to drive center circle, has it slapped away, picks it back up, gives it out to Page. Page, 39 seconds on the clock, working against Whipper. Oh, little collision there, nothing come out of it. Gives it to Max Brockett. Max just gets it off to Carney. Carney underneath to Montgomery, who has whistled for a offensive foul underneath for Montgomery. That will be his 5th personal foul, and that will be all for Jordan. 27 seconds on the clock. Aiden Combs will check in. Hawks lead it by 11. And Hardin County to inbound on the far end of the floor. Belford into Fulkerson. 26 seconds on the clock. Into the front court. Hardin County looking for quick offense. Gallatin just looking not to foul. Gives it to Whipper down low. Pass stolen by Carney. He double dribbles and gets away with it. And he will bring it up into the front court. And Gallatin will be content just to let the clock run. Hardin County is obliged to do the same. 3 seconds on the clock to Page in the corner. Dribbles it out, and that'll do it. Gallatin County gets the win in the JV game over Hardin County, 41-30. So we're going to get things squared away here and be back in just a moment.
The Gallatin County Athletic Boosters would like to thank the following businesses and individuals for their support of Hawk Athletics. Winslow Lumber Company in Junction, Illinois. Buyers of standing timber, builders of crane mats, mud mats, cribbing, and pin boards. Serving the oil, gas, coal, and solar energy sector for 29 years. Join New Hope General Baptist Church and Pastor Daniel Acord on Sundays for Sunday school at 9:30, church at 10:30, and on Thursdays for Bible study at 6 p.m. Located just 4 miles north of Ridgeway at 18870 Jack.
Sorry, we interrupted our commercial there for our sponsors. We'll go back to that in just a moment. Just wanted to be here when the teams come out on the floor. Check the scoring real quick before the teams come out. For the Hawks, JV game, they were led by Jackson Carney with 11, Talon Smith with 9, 8 points for Jordan Montgomery, 4 points for Max Brockett and Elliott Page, 2 points apiece for Aiden Combs and Brendan Brown, and 1 point for Kaysen Steele. And for Hardin County, they were led by Belford with 12, Whipper with 7, 3 points apiece for Fulkerson, Leroy, and Gibbons, and 2 for McDowell. So we are getting ready for the varsity contest. Just wanted to be here when the team came out on the floor, and then we're going to go back to our commercial. You doing crazy train tonight?
The Gallatin County Athletic Boosters would like to thank the following businesses and individuals for their support of Hawk Athletics. Winslow Lumber Company in Junction, Illinois. Buyers of standing timber, builders of crane mats, mud bats, cribbing, and pin boards. Serving the oil, gas, coal, and solar energy sector for 29 years. Join New Hope General Baptist Church and Pastor Daniel Acord on Sundays for Sunday school at 9:30, church at 10:30, and on Thursdays for Bible study at 6 p.m. Located just 4 miles north of Ridgeway at 18870 Jackson New Hope Road. New Hope General Baptist Church, sharing God's love together. Banterra Bank is proud to support the Hawks, Gallatin County schools, and our communities. Whether it's on the court or on the fields, our Hawks give it their all, and Banterra is committed to helping them soar. Visit Banterra Bank or one of their 25 locations across Southern Illinois for your banking needs, including personal and business products, plus specialty services like agribusiness lending and insurance. With any product or service provided, you'll find one commonality: exceptional personal service. Banterra Bank, member FDIC. Extreme Welding and Machine Services Incorporated. Open Monday through Friday, 7 to 3:30. For all your retail, welding, gas, and supply needs, metal sales, heavy equipment and hydraulic cylinder repair, and much more. Your one-stop shop for all your equipment repair needs. Kevin Edmonds Construction. Contact Kevin Edmonds for new homes, remodels, or any of your construction needs. Phone 618-559-4956.
Philosophy of Legence Bank is sit down with the customer, listen to their needs, and figure it out and figure a solution for them.
During COVID, Legence, they were who we looked for the PPP loan help, which allowed us to guarantee wages with our employees. Legence, they understand your entire business, whether it be checking, savings, equipment loans. They've really been a great partner in our business.
We have a great array of business products that we offer our customers. Our app is a great feature that we offer because there's so many capabilities with it. All of these different ways of taking care of your business definitely help the business work smoothly and efficiently.
John and Kathy Seeley. Steve and Candy Drone. Jeremy and Amy Knott. Terry and Anita Golden. Josh and Jackie Drone. Jeff and Bridget Jones. Thank you to all of the sponsors for our broadcasts and for supporting your Hawk Athletics.
So let's check in on a couple of things here. We're about 7.5 minutes to go before the start of the varsity contest here. Giving the band a little airtime here tonight. Excuse me. Just a little facts and figures before we get going. Gallatin County comes into the game with a record of 10-17. They've won 3 of their last 4 with wins over Thompsonville, Pope County, and Sisney. The one loss coming to Goreville in that time. And Gallatin will host a play-in game next Monday night here at the gym. They'll face Drake Patton and the Cara Mills Wildcats in a play-in game for the Crab Orchard Regional. The winner of that game gets the luxury of going and playing the number 2 seed the Meridian Bobcats. And that will be Monday night, Gallatin County versus Carrier Mills here at the high school. We don't have a time set as of yet, I don't believe. 6 o'clock is a common time for most of the regional games. So have to check back and see. But Monday night, the 24th, next Monday night, Gallatin versus Carrier Mills here at the high school in the opening round of the regional tournament. For Hardin County, they come into this with a record of 14-10. They've been on a little bit of a roll. They have won 5 of their last 6 and 9 of their last 11. Their last 3 contests, all victories over Carrier Mills, Thompsonville, and Dongola. So Hardin County comes in with a little bit of momentum in this one. So do the Hawks, coming off a good weekend with wins over Pope and Sisney. So both teams, like I said, with a little bit of momentum coming into this one. Hardin County will also play in a play-in game Monday night. They will face the Pope County Pirates at home. The winner of that game will face the winner of Crab Orchard and Joppa, and that will also be part of the Crab Orchard regional tournament. So both these teams could in fact meet again, and I think if you ask both coaches, they would be thrilled if they had the opportunity to meet again, because that means they'd be playing for a regional championship. So that's where we stand as far as the postseason stuff and what's coming up. This is the last regular season game for the Hawks. And it's, of course, moved up from tomorrow night because of that impending snow that we're supposed to get. So we're about 4.5 minutes away from the anthem and the starting lineups in this one. And we're going to step away for just a moment, or actually I'll probably just leave it right here, let the band crank up another tune for us. And I'll be back for the anthem and the lineups. great job by the Hawk Band as we are getting ready for the national anthem and the starting lineups here in just a moment. I've got an update, and I hope I'm correct with the update from Goreville. At the half, Gallatin County girls 23 and Century 14. If I read my text correctly, hopefully I did. And that is where we're at with that one. So looks like they have reset the clock, and we are ready for the national anthem.
The Gallatin County Band under the direction of Mr. Ben Austin.
Great job by the band. We're getting ready for the starting lineups.
Hardin County Cougars. And your own Gallatin County Hawks. First, the starting lineup for the visiting Cougars. At guard, number 13, Christian Winters.
Number 13, Winners.
At end of guard, number 24, Landon Fricker.
Landon Fricker.
At forward, number 2, Bryden Banks.
Banks, number 2.
At forward, number 11, Caden Herber.
Herber, number 11.
And at center, number 33, Nate Massey.
And number 33, Nate Massey. And, of course, Hardin County coached by my old high school teammate, Rodney Lane. And, of course, manager Jacob Dodson out there. And that's the lineup for the Cougars.
And now the starting lineup here on Gallatin County Hawks.
And here we go for the Hawks.
5'9" sophomore, number 10, Jackson Carney.
Carney, our first starter tonight.
Senior, number 5, Elliot Glover.
Number 5, Elliot Glover.
And 145, senior, number 33,
Packer Fromm is next out of the group.
And then the 6'1", senior, number 23, Grant Jackson.
Grant Jackson.
And at center, at 6'2", senior, number 12, Alex Saul.
And Alex Sauls rounds out the starting lineup for the Hawks. 4 seniors and a sophomore. Jackson Carney, the 1 sophomore. And great job by the Hawk cheerleaders. as we are getting ready to throw this one up at center court. It's going to be Nate Massey jumping for the Cougars, and Alex Sauls looks like he's going to get the honor for the Hawks. Two teams very familiar with each other. Kevin Lewis, our lead official, getting ready to throw the ball up at center court, and here we go. Massey controls the tip for Hardin, gets it to Banks, and then off to Fricker. Fricker into the front court. He's going to drive the lane, kicks it down to Massey underneath. He's up and scores. And Hardin County jumps on top, 2-0. Carney brings the ball up into the front court for the Hawks. Off to Grant Jackson, top of the key. He's going to work the baseline. He goes in, misses a shot. Nate Massey comes through with a rebound, but they're going to call him out of bounds as he pulled the rebound away from Grant Jackson. And the Hawks will inbound the ball under their own goal. Jackson to trigger it in. He throws it into Carney, but it is stolen away by number 13. That is Winters. Pass ahead to Banks. His shot is blocked by Alex Sauls, out of bounds. Last touch by Gallatin. And the Cougars to inbound under their own goal. Fricker to trigger the ball in for Hardin County. He throws it way back court to Heberer, who gives it off to Winters near the timeline. Now out to Fricker, and the Cougars reset their offense. Fricker, top of the key, looking to drive. Gets it out to Massey. Massey. Over to Heberer, back to Massey. Back over to Heberer. Back to Massey. Massey's going to drive the lane, shoot, and score. Into the front court, Grant Jackson. Jackson over to Glover. Glover, free throw line, turns, spins. His shot is in. Elliott Glover connects, and the Hawks are on the board at 6:42. Fricker into the front court for Hardin County. He drives the lane, runs into Sauls, gets it out to Massey. Massey into the corner to Winters, now up to Fricker. Fricker on the left side. Over to Banks, top of the key. Into Fricker underneath, on the block. He goes up and scores. Landon Fricker connects. And the Cougars go back up by 4. Grant Jackson into the front court. .6:05 on the clock, first quarter. Grant Jackson looking to drive. Spins back out. Pulls out, shoots a three. No good. Rebound tipped away by Massey. Ball knocked loose, and Winters comes up with it for Hardin County. Gives it to Fricker. And the Cougars back to their end of the floor. Fricker looks to drive the middle of the lane, loses the handle, picked up by Sauls. Out to Jackson. Jackson pushes it to the Hawk end of the floor. Pulls back to Fromm in the corner. No shot. Back out to Jackson. Underneath the Carney, he drives the middle of the lane. And we're going to have a blocking foul whistled against Fricker in the middle of the lane. That will be the first team foul against Hardin County. First personal whistled against Fricker. Grant Jackson to trigger the ball in for the Hawks under their own goal. And he flips it into Glover for three. No good. Carney with a rebound. And Carney sticks it back in. And the Hawks have cut it to 2 with 5:25 on the clock, first quarter. Fricker into the front court. He works to the left side, gives it to Massey, now over to Heberer. Heberer up top to Massey. Massey running the offense, over to Fricker in the corner. His three on the way, no good. Grant Jackson with the rebound. Grant pulls it down, takes off. His pass way up court, knocked away, almost hits Miss Bobby on her way into the gym. And I believe that's who that was. Don't know if that was who it was or not, just a glance. I don't think it was. Grant Jackson with the inbound to Jackson Carney, back to Grant Jackson. His pass along the baseline is knocked out of bounds, and the Hawks will retain possession. That was not Miss Bobby, so my apologies to Miss Bobby out there. I'm sorry. Grant Jackson inbound the ball to Alex Sauls. His shot up and off the board, and the Hawks tie it up. Landon Fricker into the front court for the Cougars. at the free throw line, out to Winters. His three is on the way, no good. Rebound tapped out. Alex Sauls comes up with it to Grant Jackson. And the Hawks with a chance to take a lead. Up to Elliott Glover in the corner. He drives in. He fires up a wild shot. No good. Banks with a rebound. Banks pulls it down. He's going to go to the length of the floor. Off in the corner to Heberer. Heberer's shot is up and good. And they say a 2, not a 3. Grant Jackson to the front court for the Hawks. Off to Jackson Carney on the baseline. The pass is, the ball is just knocked out of his hands. Outstanding out of bounds was Christian Winters. And the Cougars turn it right back over to the Hawks. Grant Jackson to inbound the ball into the Hawk basket. Up top to Carney. Carney drives, dishes it to Thacker Fromm on the baseline. Thacker in a bit of trouble, gives it off to Carney. Baseline pass to Glover, spins, shoots. His shot blocked by Massey. And the Cougars back to their end of the floor. Banks drives the lane, puts one up. His shot no good. Rebound Grant Jackson. Jackson. Bounce pass ahead to Glover. Glover loses the handle out of bounds, and it'll be Hardin County basketball with 3:50 to go, first quarter. Hawks trailing by 2. Check again for the Hawks, number 20, Logan Brannon. And checking out is number 10, Jackson Carney. 3:50 on the clock, first quarter. Hardin County leading by 2. And Fricker will bring the ball up court for the Cougars. Over to Heberer. Heberer up top to Massey. Massey over on the left side to Winters. He dumps it down to Fricker. Back out to Winters, who drives, shoots, misses, rebound, knocked away and picked up by Grant Jackson. And the Hawks move to their end of the floor. Jackson loses the handle off a knee, but Alex Sauls picks it up in the corner. Back up top to Grant Jackson. And the Hawks, with 3:15 on the clock, reset their offense. Up to Logan Brannon, top of the key. Logan working against Fricker, moves on the right side, goes up, shoots, misses, gets his own rebound. Grant Jackson comes down with a rebound off the loose ball. He flings it across to Glover for 3. No good. Rebound fought for Hardin County. Heberer comes up with it. And we're going to have a quick jump ball called, and it will be Gallatin basketball as Grant Jackson ties up the Cougar, and the Hawks will inbound the ball under their own goal. Jackson to inbound out to Fromm, nearly stolen away. Bounce pass to Brannon. Brannon out to Jackson, top of the key. Jackson up top to Sauls. Sauls to Fromm for 3. No good. Long board. Knocked away, picked up by Fricker, who gets it ahead to Massey, who lays it in. Good look there by Fricker. Massey led the break down the floor. Jackson to Sauls underneath. His shot up and good. And the Hawks answer back quickly. Fricker up court to Massey. Massey in the corner to Heberer. Off to Banks. Banks looking for Fricker, top of the key. He pulls up for a 3. It's short. Rebound Heberer. He goes up against Jackson. His shot no good. Logan Brannon with the rebound, and the Hawks with a chance to tie it up. Brannon into the front court. Spins in the lane. His shot no good. Tapped out by Sauls, picked up by Banks. Banks to the Hardin County end. He pulls back, gives it off to Massey. Massey moves down the lane, bulls his way to the goal and scores. Nate Massey just took it right to the hole. And the Cougars back up by 4 with 1:35 to go in the first quarter. Jackson into the front court. He's directing traffic. Off to Glover, to Fromm. Looks underneath to Jackson. The pass is knocked away. Nate Massey saves it back into Logan Brannon, who drives and shoots. Logan Brannon scores, and the Hawks back within 2. 1:05 on the clock. Hardin leads it by 2. Fricker into the front court. Over a screen by Banks. He's looking to go baseline, then off to Heberer in the corner. He pulls up for a 3, and it's good. Heberer connects, and Hardin pushes it up to a 5-point advantage. Jackson into the front court for the Hawks. On the right side to Brannon, top of the key. 35 seconds on the clock. Hawks playing for one shot. 26 seconds. You give the ball off to Jackson. 19 seconds on the clock. Jackson looking to make a move. Nothing there. Pulls back, fires a three. And it's good. Grant Jackson. And Hardin quickly up court to Winters. To Fricker. 7 seconds. He looks to drive, gives it to Massey on the baseline. His shot up and good. And to Jackson. Three-quarter court. No good. As he breaks the lights on the backboard. And that's the end of the first quarter. Oh. So we got about 15 seconds here before we start the second quarter. Gallatin County trailing by 4, as Hardin County will have the ball to inbound the start the second half. For the Hawks on the floor to start the second quarter, Elliot Glover, Thacker Fromm, Alex Sauls, Grant Jackson, and Logan Brannon on the floor for the Hawks. Hardin County with the ball to start the second quarter. Ball inbounded to Banks. Banks into the front court. Over to Heberer. Heberer underneath to Fricker on the baseline. Back to Heberer in the corner. His shot no good. Rebound Brannon. Brannon comes out of the crew with the ball. And he moves it across the timeline into the front court for the Hawks. Brannon gets caught. Gets it out to Jackson. Top of the key. Jackson flips it down low to Sauls. No good. It's knocked away, and Hardin County comes up with it. Heberer with a loose ball, gives it off to Massey. Massey over a screen, drives the baseline. He puts it up. No good. First shot he's missed. Jackson with the ball, moves it up in the front court for the Hawks. In the corner for Fromm. No good. Long rebound. Elliot Glover to Grant Jackson. Grant thought about a three, didn't take it, gives it to Brannon. Brannon, three from the corner, no good. Rebound. Thacker Fromm is there, no good. Rebound knocked out of bounds. Last touch Gallatin, and it will be Hardin County basketball with 6:59 to go in the first half. Hawks trailing by 4. Into the front court for Hardin County. Fricker flips it up to Massey. The lob, he doesn't get the shot, but he comes up with a shot on the opposite side. Heberer gets the loose ball rebound. He goes up. No call. Logan Brannon comes up with the missed shot, and Logan will bring the ball up into the Hawk half of the floor. A lot happened there for nothing to happen. Check it. Logan Brannon with the basket underneath. And the first bucket of the second quarter for either team draws the Hawks back to within 2. Hardin County on their end of the floor. Long three put up by Winters, no good. Rebound Grant Jackson. Jackson into the front court for the Hawks. Sorry, folks, had a little technical issue here. Logan Brannon with 3. And the Hawks take their first lead of the evening. Hardin to their half of the floor. Fricker into the corner to Banks. Up top to Winters, who's going to drive out to Banks for 3. No good. Long rebound. Heber comes up, puts it up and in. Good rebounding on the backside there by Heber. 5:20 on the clock to go, second quarter. Grant Jackson into the front court, over a couple of screens. Pulls back, almost took the deep three. Gets it to Brandon. Brandon is going to drive, and he is going to be whistled for the charging foul as he lowered the shoulder into the Cougar player. And it'll be a turnover on the Hawks. And we got a player down on the floor. So we'll kind of give him some air. Last update we had from Goreville, and I hope I'm correct. High school girls were leading it at the half. 23-14. So, like I said, I hope I'm correct on that. So, Hardin County to inbound the ball, 5:05, leading by 1. Fricker brings the ball into the front court for the Cougars. Over to Winters. Winters back up top to Fricker. Fricker over to Winters. Underneath the banks, the ball's knocked out by Logan Brandon. Good defense there, denying the pass in. Hardin to inbound under their own goal. Fricker to bring the ball in for the Cougars. Into Banks. Banks for 3. In and out. Rebound. Thacker Fromm gives it off to Grant Jackson. And the Hawks will bring it to their half of the court, trying to take the lead. Up to Sauls. Sauls out to Brandon. Brandon looks to drive. Over in the corner. Throws it into the crowd. And the Hawks will turn it over yet again. Cougars will take over at 4:37 to go in the first half. Fricker to bring the ball up for the Cougars. Fricker into the front court. Over to Banks. Banks across into Whipper, who's coming to the game now. Whipper to Fricker. To Massey. To Winters, to Banks, to Fricker, top of the key. And Fricker is going to be whistled for the travel violation. And the Hawks will take over with 4:16 on the clock, second quarter. And we have a player coming in. Jackson Carney checks in. Thacker Fromm will go to the bench. Good minutes tonight for Thacker. Jackson Carney to inbound the ball. Gets it into Grant Jackson. Back to Carney. And the Hawks bring it into the front court. Grant Jackson in the corner. Looking to go baseline. Tries to get a shovel pass off to Alex Sauls. It's knocked out of bounds. Gallatin to inbound under their own goal. Just an update on the Hardin County player, Heber. Looks like he is okay. Probably just had the wind knocked out of him, so glad to see that. Ball inbounded to Sauls, to Carney, up top to Brandon. Brandon over to Glover. Glover looks to drive, spins to the lane, loses the handle, has it knocked away and stolen by Hardin County. Flung ahead to Nate Massey. Massey spins to the middle of the lane, left-handed shot, no good. Rebound, and we're going to have a foul on Hardin County going over the back of Jackson Carney. That'll be Whipper picking up his first foul. And Talon Smith checks in, and Elliott Glover will have a seat for the Hawks. 3:39 to go. Gallatin down by 1. Carney brings the ball up into the front court. Carney over to Jackson. Jackson to Talon Smith, top of the key. Talon to Jackson Carney. Carney looking for some help, picked up his dribble, gets to Sauls in the corner now to Jackson, top of the key. Jackson guarded by Whipper up top. Grant Jackson over to Carney. Carney to Smith. Smith drives up top to Brennan for 3. No good. Rebound Massey from Hardin County. Gets it off to Fricker. Fricker flings it ahead to Banks. Banks in the corner to Whipper. Whipper up top to Massey. Massey looks to drive. Out to Fricker for a 3. Way off the mark. Whipper tries to save it, but it's going to be out of bounds. Last touch. Hardin County. 2:43 on the clock, second quarter. Gallatin to inbound into their own goal. Low scoring second quarter for both teams thus far. Carney up into the front court. Grant Jackson with the ball at the three-point line. Throws it underneath the Sauls. He goes up, draws some defense, doesn't get a foul call. Logan Brannon with the rebound and the stick back, and the Hawks take a 1-point lead. Hardin County quickly to their half of the floor. Banks back to Fricker, over to Massey. Massey, now over to Hooper. Up top to Massey, now to Fricker, top of the key. Fricker for three, top of the key, no good. Rebound, Logan Brannon. He gives it off to Jackson, and here come the Hawks. 2 minutes on the clock. Jackson Carney to bring the ball up court for the Hawks. Carney into the front court, working against Banks. He goes middle of the lane. His shot is partially blocked, but a foul whistled against Banks, and Carney will go to the line to shoot two. Second team foul on Hardin, first on Banks. And Carney at the line. Carney's first shot is up and good. Carney's second shot is also good. 1:50 on the clock. Hardin County into their half of the court. Fricker to Hooper, back to Fricker for three. He misses. Brannon with a rebound. Brannon starts to bring it up court. Coach Lawler says, let's slow it down. Get it back to Grant Jackson across the timeline. And the Hawks will give it off to Carney to run the offense. Now Brannon's going to run the offense. Top of the key, 1:29 on the clock. Brannon looks to move, tries to spin to the lane. Nothing there. Picks up his dribble. Tries to get it to Sauls. Sauls tries to save it off a Cougar player's leg, but misses, and the Cougars come up with the loose ball. Banks into the front court to Hooper. Hooper over in the corner to Winters. Winters up top to Massey. Massey over to Banks. Banks up top to Fricker. Fricker over to Hooper for three. His shot is on the mark. And we are tied at 22 on the three-point basket by Hooper. 52 seconds on the clock in the first half. Grant Jackson across the timeline. Jackson will run the offense from the top. 40 seconds on the clock. Over to Carney. Hawks would love to play for one shot. Hardin County seems content to let them do it. Pass to Jackson. Jackson guarded by Hooper. Good defender. 24 seconds on the clock. Over to Carney. 18 seconds on the clock. Timeout, Gallatin County. 13.9 on the clock. 30-second timeout, and Gallatin will inbound the ball across the way at the half-court line. Update from Goreville. In the fourth quarter, with 4 minutes to go, Gallatin County on top of the Century, 37-21. So keep it up, girls. Keep battling down there. We're thinking good thoughts up here. The Hawks will have the ball across the way, inbounding about the volleyball line. .9 seconds on the clock. Grant Jackson to inbound the ball for the Hawks. On the floor for the Hawks, Jackson, Carney, Smith, Sauls, and Brannon. Jackson inbounds to Talon Smith. 13 seconds on the clock. 12 gives it to Grant Jackson. 10, 9, 8 seconds on the clock. 7, Grant moving on the right side. Looking underneath, gets to Brannon. 4 seconds, 3. He powers his way to the goal. His shot's up and good. And let's see if they're going to count the basket. They are. Foul whistled against number, not sure who that was. Logan connects on the shot. 1.6 seconds on the clock. And the foul, do we know who the foul was whistled on? Number 24, Landon Fricker, I believe is what they said. That'll be his second. And Logan at the line, shooting one. His shot is up and good. And Hardin County with a last-second attempt here. Fricker just flings it deep. It hits the back wall, and that'll do it. We go to the half with the Hawks leading it 25-22. We're going to step away. We'll be back in just a moment.
The Gallatin County Athletic Boosters would like to thank the following businesses and individuals for their support of Hawk Athletics. Winslow Lumber Company in Junction, Illinois. Buyers of standing timber, builders of crane mats, mud bats, cribbing, and pin boards. Serving the oil, gas, coal, and solar energy sector for 29 years. Join New Hope General Baptist Church and Pastor Daniel Acord on Sundays for Sunday school at 9:30, church at 10:30, and on Thursdays for Bible study at 6 p.m. Located just 4 miles north of Ridgeway at 18870 Jackson New Hope Road. New Hope General Baptist Church, sharing God's love together. Banterra Bank is proud to support the Hawks, Gallatin County schools, and our communities. Whether it's on the court or on the fields, our Hawks give it their all, and Banterra is committed to helping them soar. Visit Banterra Bank or one of their 25 locations across Southern Illinois for your banking needs, including personal and business products, plus specialty services like agribusiness lending and insurance. With any product or service provided, you'll find one commonality: exceptional personal service. Banterra Bank, member FDIC. Extreme Welding and Machine Services Incorporated. Open Monday through Friday, 7 to 3:30. For all your retail welding, gas, and supply needs, metal cells, heavy equipment and hydraulic cylinder repair, and much more. Your one-stop shop for all your equipment repair needs. Kevin Edmonds Construction. Contact Kevin Edmonds for new homes, remodels, or any of your construction needs. Phone 618-559-4956.
Philosophy of Allegiance Bank is sit down with the customer, listen to their needs, and figure it out and figure a solution for them.
During COVID, Allegiance, they were who we looked for the PPP loan help, which allowed us to guarantee wages with our employees. Allegiance, they understand your entire business, whether it be checking, savings, equipment loans. They've really been a great partner in our business.
We have a great array of business products that we offer our customers. Our app is a great feature that we offer because there's so many capabilities with it. All of these different ways of taking care of your business definitely help the business work smoothly and efficiently.
John and Kathy Seeley. Steve and Candy Drone. Jeremy and Amy Knott. Terry and Anita Golden. Josh and Jackie Drone. Jeff and Bridget Jones. Thank you to all of the sponsors for our broadcast and for supporting your Hawk Athletics.
Great job by the band. Well, we got a final score from Goreville. The high school girls have defeated Century 44-24. So they will move on to the regional championship game, which is Thursday night. Their opponent yet to be determined. I believe it's either Goreville or Alvarado that they will face come Thursday night. So congratulations to the Lady Hawks as they continue their season and have an opportunity to progress further, win a regional, and keep playing basketball. That's the name of the game. So congratulations to Coach Fromm, Coach Brazier, and all the girls on the high school girls team. Look forward to see what they do Thursday night. We got about 2 minutes to go to the start of this one, and some scoring right now for at the half. The Hawks are led by Logan Brannon with 13, 4 points for Alex Sauls, 4 points for Jackson Carney, 3 for Grant Jackson, and 2 for Elliott Glover. And on the Hardin County side, they are led by Nate Massey with 10, Heberer with 7, 3 for Whipper, and 2 for Fricker. And that is their scoring at the half. 1:25 to go before the start of this one. I'm going to step away, get myself a drink, and I will be back in just a moment with the second half. Excellent job by the Gallatin County Band. We get ready to start this second half. For the Hawks on the floor, Alex Sauls, Grant Jackson, Jackson Carney, Elliott Glover, and Logan Brannon on the floor for the Hawks. As we get going here, referees have all signaled the all clear. And the second half is underway. And I am going to reset my property here on the half. Pass underneath to Brannon. His shot is blocked, but he goes up and scores. Logan Brannon with the first points of the half. Hardin County quickly to their end. Banks over on the right side. Up top to Fricker. Top of the key. Over to Massey. Massey looks to drive. His shot is blocked by Sauls. Logan Brannon comes up with it. Logan drives, lays it up and in. Hardin County back to their end. Banks with the ball. Top of the key over to Fricker. Fricker fakes the three, drives, runs into Brannon. It's going to be a blocking foul on Brannon. They're going to say count the basket. And it'll be the first foul, I believe, on Logan for the evening. And Fricker will go to, second foul. Fricker goes to the line to shoot one. He completes the three-point play the old-fashioned way. And it's a 4-point ball game. 7:14 on the clock, third quarter. Grant Jackson into the front court for the Hawks. Jackson, bounce pass underneath, knocked away, stolen by the Cougars. Massey with the ball into the front court, down to Banks. Banks shot up and no good. Massey with the rebound. His stick back is good. He's played well tonight. And it's a 2-point ball game. Carney into the front court for the Hawks. Hawks need to take care of the basketball. Over to Jackson. Jackson on the left side pulls up for a three. His shot is short. Rebound. Brannon, he goes up with a reverse and scores. Good job by Logan Brannon on the boards. Hardin County to their end. Fricker with the ball top of the key. Off to Massey. Into the corner to Winters. His three is on the way. No good. Rebound Grant Jackson. Jackson comes out looking to push. Down the middle of the lane, up against Massey. His shot no good. Heberer with the rebound. Heberer was the injured player in the first half for Hardin. Good to see him back. Hands it off to Fricker. Fricker, top of the key, working against Glover. His pass is saved by Nate Massey. It was going out of bounds. Sauls gets it down to Jackson. His shot is up, no good. Grant Jackson struggling tonight from the floor. Banks with the ball. He pushes it up, out to Fricker for, thought about a three, didn't take it. I was anticipating it. Over to Winters on the far side, now up top to Massey. He throws it into Banks. Banks out to Winters, up top to Massey. Massey over to Winters. Winters down to Banks. Logan Brannon comes in from the backside, knocks the ball loose. And the Hawks move it up to their half of the floor. Logan Brannon works his way against Massey on the floor. We're going to have a foul whistle against Massey. That'll be his first, team's second on Hardin County, as the Hawks will inbound the ball under their own goal. Grant Jackson to trigger it in. Hooper checking in for the Cougars, and checking out is Banks. 5:29, third quarter. Jackson to inbound. Into Glover. I'm sorry, into Carney. Carney is fouled on the backside. Whistled against Fricker. That'll be his third and team third on the Cougars. Grant Jackson to inbound. Into Brannon. Brannon up top to Carney. Carney to Jackson. Jackson pulls, shoots the three. It's no good. Glover with a rebound on the backside. Glover with the ball, bounces into Jackson. He spins to the middle of the lane, dumps it down low to Sauls, loses it off his handle, and it's going to be knocked loose off of Elliott Glover's foot. It'll be Hardin County basketball with 5:13 to go, third quarter. Unfortunate set of circumstances there for the Hawks on that one. Fricker into the front court for Hardin County. He pulls up, he shoots the 12-footer, and it's good. And we got a timeout whistle by Hardin County, a 30-second timeout. Hawks lead it by 2 with 4:59 to go in the third quarter.
I'll be right back. Sorry.
4:59 to go, third quarter. Gallatin inbound. Take it the length of the floor. On the floor for the Hawks, Sauls, Carney, Brandon Jackson, and Glover. Carney into the front court for the Hawks. Over to Glover on the left side. He moves up. Back out to Jackson, top of the key. Over to Carney on the right side. Into Brandon. Brandon spins, middle of the lane, jumper. In and out. Rebound fought for, tapped around. Carney saves it back into Brandon, and it's going to be off his hands. Fricker comes up with it, out to Heberer. He drives, he scores, and he is going to be fouled on the back end by Elliott Glover. And that will be the first team foul on the Hawks and the first foul on Glover as Heberer goes to the line to shoot one. Checking into the ballgame for Hardin County, Banks, and Winters will go to the bench. Heberer with his free throw forthcoming. It's on its way, and it's short. Rebound, Logan Brannon gives it off to Grant Jackson. And the Hawks bring it up court. We are tied at 31 with 4:27 to go in the third quarter. Jackson with the ball over to Brannon. Over to Sauls, to Carney. Carney makes a move to the baseline. Goes up against defense. His shot no good, but Grant Jackson with the one-handed putback. And the Hawks take a 2-point lead. Fricker into the front court for Hardin County. Off to Massey at the free throw line. He moves down the lane. He's looking for help. He's covered up, gets it out to Fricker, now up top to Banks. Banks out to Fricker. Fricker for three. No good. Rebound, Logan Brannon. Brannon pushes it ahead up to Glover. Pass is stolen by Fricker. And the Cougars back to their end of the floor. Massey with the ball. Top of the key. Down to Fricker. Fricker working against Glover. His shot no good. Brannon with a rebound. He gives it off to Grant Jackson, and Coach Lauder says, hey, hold up here. Let's run a play here and get something going. 3:30 to go, third quarter. Jackson on the left side. Spins back to the baseline. Nothing there. Pulls back. Shoots the jumper. In and out. Rebound. Whooper from Hardin County. Gives it off to Banks. Banks ahead to Fricker. Fricker into the front court. Into the corner to Banks. Banks in the middle to Heberer. It's knocked loose. They're going to say last touch Hardin County. And it'll be Gallatin basketball with 3:08 to go, third quarter. Jackson Kearney inbounds the ball to Grant Jackson. Back to Jackson Kearney. Into the front court is Kearney. Over to Alex Sauls. Near the top of the key to Glover to Grant Jackson in the corner. Grant directing traffic in there. Gets a pass into Brennan. It's stolen by Massey. Massey was reading the pass. He brings it in the front court and the corner. Heberer for three. In and out. Rebound Grant Jackson. Grant through traffic. All the way to the hole. His shot no good. Rebound Alex Sauls. His shot up no good. Rebound. Oh, off of Massey, who tries to save it. Throws it back off a Cougar player. And it will be, I hope I got that on camera, it will be Hawk basketball under their own goal. Check again for the Cougars, number 13, Winners, and Fricker will go to the bench. 2:29 to go. Third quarter. Jackson to inbound the ball. Jackson into Brandon. His shot up and good. Nice cut there by Logan Brandon. He got the basket with 2:22 to go. Whooper with the ball for Hardin County into the front court. Over to Heberer. Heberer directing traffic up to Massey, top of the key. Massey pulls up, long two-pointer, no good. Rebound Alex Sauls. He gives it off to Jackson, nearly stolen out there by Winners. And Jackson brings it into the front court. 2 minutes to go, third quarter. Jackson over to Kearney. Bounce pass into Brannon. Brannon into Kearney underneath. His shot, he changed his shot, came back up with it and scored. Not sure he didn't walk right there, but Jackson Kearney continued to play. Hardin to their half. Banks gives it off to Massey, drives the lane, his shot up and good. He scores, and a foul whistled against, I believe it's Grant Jackson. Basket counts. And that will be the third team foul on the Hawks. Nope, it is whistled against Logan Brannon. That'll be his third. Free throw from Massey is up and good. And that's a three-point ball game with 1:35 to go, third quarter. Jackson into the front court over to Kearney. Out in the corner to Sauls, up top to Kearney. To Brannon. Brannon looks to drive, pulls up in the lane. His shot no good. Rebound Massey. Massey has been the best player on the floor for Hardin tonight. Into the front court. He is going to drive. Kicks it in the corner to Heberer for three. No good. Long rebound. Massey loses the handle, but they're going to call Alex Sauls with a foul on the undercut. Technically, it's just a pushing foul is what it's called. So for Alex, that is his first, I believe. Whooper to inbound the ball for Hardin County, gets it into Banks. Banks hands it off to Heberer. 1:05 on the clock, third quarter. Heberer drives the lane and gets it to rim in. Hawk defense broke down through the middle of the lane there. He was able to go all the way to the goal. Jackson Kearney into the front court, way up to Alex Sauls. Nothing happening. Back out to Jackson Kearney near the timeline. Into Brandon at the free throw line over to Jackson. 42 seconds on the clock. Hawks would love to take one last shot. Brandon over to Kearney, back to Brandon. Brandon back to Kearney. Out to Brandon. Brandon over to Kearney. Back to Brandon. 25 seconds on the clock. Back to Kearney, back to Brandon. Little pitch and catch. Back to Kearney. Kearney doubled up top and gets rid of it down to Sauls. Tries to get it into Brandon, cutting. It's knocked away. Cougars steal it off to Heberer. He drives. His shot blocked by Jackson. Kearney comes down with it. 7 seconds. Glover moving to the goal. Spins, shoots. Elliot Glover, like the Tasmanian Devil, spinning down the middle of the lane. puts that one in, and the Hawks will take a 39-36 lead going into the fourth quarter. All right, like I said, a little update here. If you didn't hear it earlier, the high school girls team went to Goreville tonight to play Century in the semifinals of the regional tournament. Lady Hawks with a 44-24 victory over Century, so they will advance to the championship game Thursday night against the winner of, I believe it's Alvarado and Goreville. So we get ready to start the fourth here. It'll be Hardin County basketball to start the fourth. On the floor for the Hawks, Elliot Glover, Alex Sauls, Grant Jackson, Jackson Carney, and Logan Brannon. Hawks leading it by 3. And Fricker with the ball for Hardin County into the front court. Off to Heberer in the corner. Back to Fricker. Fricker looks to drive middle of the lane, loses the handle, gets it back, drives the lane again. Has it knocked loose. Jackson Carney picks up the hot potato, gives it to Sauls. Sauls off to Brannon. Ahead to Carney. And the Hawks will pace the offense on their side to Glover. Glover, almost walks down there, gets it to Sauls in the corner. Sauls up top to Glover, now to Carney. 7:26 on the clock. Grant Jackson flings it across to Glover. He gets it. He makes a move to the goal. Is going to get caught making the move. Took an extra step. And the Hawks will turn it over with 7:19 on the clock. Massey, the inbound the ball for the Cougars, gives it to Fricker. And Hardin County into the front court. Fricker on the right side. Up top to Banks. Banks looks for Massey, cutting back door. He's got him. Massey scores. He has been, like I said, by far the best player on the floor for Hardin County tonight. Carney to Glover, to Sauls, back to Glover. Down to Sauls, into Brannon. Brannon loses the handle, knocked out of bounds, last touch Hardin County. Gallatin will inbound into their own basket with 6:43 to play. Jackson to inbound to Brannon. Brannon looks to drive, gets it out to Carney, over to Glover. Glover makes a move, gets it to Sauls. Free throw line extended jumper, no good. Brannon, and they're going to catch Logan for pushing off on the rebounding end. That'll be his 4th, and that will be the first team foul whistled against the Hawks. Well, they say that foul was whistled on number 12, Alex Sauls. That is his 2nd. Hardin County with the ball underneath Banks. Banks on the baseline, works against Jackson. His shot no good. Logan Branham with the rebound. Logan through traffic is fouled. And we got a foul coming against Hardin County number 13, Winners. That will be his first, team first on the Cougars. Gallatin inbound in front of their own bench, leading by a point. Jackson into Carney. And Carney across the line. Carney slips, falls, loses the handle out of bounds. They're going to say last touch off of Hardin County. Nope, they're going to have a timeout called. Full timeout, Hardin County, or Gallatin County. 6 minutes on the clock. Coach Lawler got one in there quick. Was fortunate the officials were there close, but they They got it into him, and they are working feverishly as a Hawk player apparently has a scratch on him, might be bleeding, so they are trying to get that wrapped up. So it'll be Gallatin County basketball right at about the half-court mark. On the floor for the Hawks, Grant Jackson, Jackson Carney, Logan Brandon, Alex Sauls, and Elliott Glover. Hawks leading by 1, 6 minutes to play. You know, Saturday was an OT game against Sisney, so this one kind of has that same feel. Carney with the ball up top, over to Sauls, back to Carney. Carney with the ball on the left side, back up to Sauls near the timeline. Sauls over to Jackson. Hardin County playing a little zone defense, little matchup zone. Carney down in the corner to Glover. Glover back to Carney. Carney up top to Sauls, now back over to Carney. He looks to drive, he found a seam, goes up, his shot, good. Jackson Carney, he found a seam and went barreling through. Well, we got an official timeout as the ball into the cheerleading crowd. My daughter returns it to the player. And Hardin County inbounds it, and we're on our way. Fricker to bring the ball up for Hardin. 5:15 on the clock. Into the front court, middle of the lane. Kicks it out to Heberer for 3. He buries the 3, and we are tied again at 5 minutes to play. Carney into the front court to Sauls, into the corner to Jackson. Jackson looks to go baseline. Pass across to Jackson Carney. He goes up for a shot. He is fouled on his way to the goal. I believe they're going to whistle that on Heberer. That'll be his first, and it will be the second team foul on the Cougars. Jackson Carney at the line shooting 2. Carney's first shot is up and good. For the Hawks, checking in, number 33, Thacker Fromm, and number 20, Logan Brandon will go to the bench. Probably a good idea to save Logan from picking up any kind of fouls here in the last couple of minutes, so you can use them late in the game, maybe get some strategy on the bench. Jackson Carney, his second throw is good. And the Hawks lead it by 2 with 4:49. Hawks with a little full court pressure. And a timeout whistle by Coach Rodney Lane of the Cougars. And we're going to see if I can get a drink or not. It's a full timeout, so we're going to step away here and get a little drink while coaches discuss some strategy. I appreciate the full timeout that was called by, like I said, my old high school teammate Rodney Lane down there at the Hardin County Cougars. Give me a chance to get a drink and sit down for a moment. So that'll be Hardin County basketball across the way at about the volleyball line. Fricker to inbound to Winters. Hawks pull the pressure back off into the half court. They get it back to Fricker. And here come the Cougars. Fricker up over the screen. Drives, shoots, and connects. Landon Fricker ties things back up at 43. Carney into the front court to Sauls, down to Jackson in the corner. Jackson working against the zone defense, throws one into the front row, and the Hawks turn one over. And it'll be Hardin County basketball. Replay of the last inbound. Fricker, 4:15 on the clock, tie ball game, into the front court. Down to Massey. Massey looks to make a move, gives it off to Banks. Banks in the corner to Winters, back to Banks, top of the key. Over to Fricker on the right side, back to Banks, top of the key. He moves to the right. Back to Fricker, top of the key. Long three attempt, no, not. Thought he was going to put one up, but he didn't. Looks to guard the middle of the lane, nearly fouled by Glover. Almost loses his footing, gets it out to Winters, back to Banks. Now back up top to Fricker, 3:47 on the clock. Over a screen. Looks for someone driving. I think he was looking for Massey. Gets it back to Banks. Banks drives the lane. His shot no good. Rebound Logan Brandon, who is back in the ball game for the Hawks. 3:34 to go. Grant Jackson with the ball. Out to Brannon. Brannon looks to drive the lane. He is fouled going through. And we have a foul coming on number 24, that's Fricker. That'll be his fourth foul and the third team foul on the Cougars. Across the way, Grant Jackson will trigger it in. 3:24 on the clock. He gets it into Carney in the backcourt. Carney brings it across. Up to Jackson. Jackson way over to Carney. And to Brannon. Brannon to Jackson. Jackson back out to Brannon for three. Rebound no good. Nate Massey with the rebound, and it is slapped off of Massey out of bounds. Looking like this little foul though on Alex Sauls, trying to get the backdoor steal, and that'll be the second team foul on the Hawks and the second foul against Alex. 3:07 left to play. Hardin County to inbound to bring it the length of the floor. Fricker brings it up into the front court. Over to Banks. Banks in the corner to Winters. Winters back up top to Banks. Banks over to Fricker for three. Nope, he did not take it. Probably a good decision. Banks back to Fricker. Long three from Fricker is good. To Jackson. Over across to Jackson. His three's on the way. It's no good. Rebound. Banks comes down with it on the baseline, gets it off to Fricker. He flings it ahead to Winters. Winters up to Banks. Banks fires the three. It's no good. Rebound fought for underneath the last touch off of Brannon. It'll be Hardin County basketball under their own goal. 2:15 to play. We got an official's timeout for someone to tie a shoe. 2:15 on the clock. Hardin inbound under their own goal. Gallatin with no one in foul trouble at the moment. Hardin County with Fricker with four. Ball flipped into Massey. Massey hands going to hand it off to Fricker. No, he is going to make a move to the middle of the lane. No, back to Banks. Over to Winters. Winters back over to Banks. Banks hits Fricker, cutting the lane out to Heberer for three. It's good. And with 1:55 to go, the Hawks trail it by 6. Some clutch three-point shooting by the Cougars. Ball knocked loose. Now it's going to be stolen. Winters gets it off to Massey. Massey is fouled as he's going up court. Probably a good idea to stop that break and make Hardin County reset. Foul on Glover. No, foul on Carney. That will be his first and the team third for the Hawks. Timeout, Hardin County. 30-second timeout coming up. 1:43 on the clock to play in the game. Hawks trailing it by 6. So Hardin County will inbound here in front of the scorer's table. Hawks trailing by 6, 1:43 on the clock. Fricker to inbound the ball for Hardin County into the backcourt to Banks. Banks back to Fricker. And Hardin doesn't have to be quick on offense. They can run the clock. Guarded by Carney up near the timeline. Fricker makes a move. Pulls up, jumper from about 10 feet, up and good. Well, Fricker hasn't scored many, but what he's scored's been late and important. Carney ahead to Smith. Smith down to Sauls. Sauls underneath the Brennan, knocked away, stolen. Hardin County picks up the loose ball. Fricker looking for help, gets it over to Winters across the timeline. Winters back to Banks. And Grant Jackson is going to be whistled for the foul, his second, team fourth. And with 1:05 on the clock, Gallatin is to the point where they need steals or fouls to send Hardin County to the line. Well, unfortunately, this one seems to be getting away at the end, but we've got a lot of time left. Massey with the ball, gets it across to Banks. Banks in the front court is going to be fouled by Jackson. And for Jackson, that will be his third. And it'll be the team fifth. I'm sorry, they keep putting it on the wrong person on the board, so that's kind of misleading. That was on Grant Jackson, his third. And Banks at the line shooting 2. 57.6 seconds on the clock. First free throw is up and good. He hits the second one. Hardin's up 10. And that is a pretty good point to be at if you're the Cougars. Second free throw on the way by Banks is in as well. And the Hawks trail it by 10. Jackson up court for the Hawks. Off to Carney. Carney across court to Jackson. Jackson looking for some help. Fires a long three. It's no good. Sauls with the rebound. He goes up. He does not score. Banks with the rebound. To Fricker. To Winters on the Snowbird. And he lays it in. Brannon up court quickly for the Hawks. He loses the handle to Banks. Banks ahead to Winters. He misses the layup, but Heberer is there. His shot is partially blocked and a foul whistled against the Hawks on the frustration foul there. 24.4 seconds. Foul on Brannon. That will be his fourth. And at the line is Heberer shooting a pair. First shot, no good. Hardin has moved their players back into the backcourt just to avoid a foul. Second shot from Heber is good. And Gallatin moves up into the front court. Jackson over to Carney. In the corner to Smith, sorry. Jackson Carney with a three. No good. Rebound Nate Massey, and that should probably do it. Ahead to Fricker. Fricker will just hold on to the ball. And that's going to do it. Hardin County will pull out the 56-43 victory over the Cougars. Let's check some scoring for the Hawks. They were led in scoring tonight by Logan Brannon. Hold on 1 second. All right, had to recalculate there. On the scoring for the Hawks, they were led by Logan Brannon with 20. 10 points for Jackson Carney, 5 for Grant Jackson, 4 for Alex Sauls, and 4 for Elliot Glover. And for Hardin County, they were led, well, just looking at the stat sheet here, if this is correct, Fricker, Massey, and Heberer all with 17 points apiece. 2 points for Banks and 3 points for Whipper. And that is the scoring for Hardin County. Hardin County moves to 15-10 on the season, and the Hawks drop to 10-18. Gallatin will be back in action. The boys We'll be back in action next Monday night as they will face off against Carrier Mills in a play-in game to the regional tournament. And that will be here at Gallatin next Monday night, 6 p.m. Gallatin County and Carrier Mills. The winner of that game will advance to the Crab Orchard Regional to face Meridian. And again, the high school girls tonight with a victory down at Goreville against Century in the semifinals of the regional tournament. And they will advance to the regional championship game on Thursday night against either Alvarado or Goreville. So good news for the Lady Hawks. And the Hawks are going to regroup and get ready for regional play starting next week. So this is Dave Cruzen saying good night from here at home. And we'll see you next time around.